Look, self-made entrepreneur, no manure. I'm the
What's up? What's up? Greetings and salutations from Belize, man. So, I've been here for a few days. We're going to stay for a few more. We're having a good time, but you think you can get away from sales, but you can't, man. I'm all the way in a whole other country, and you still can't get away from it, right? So, I was talking to a guy about catching a boat from one island to the next. And it was getting dark. So when you're in sales, you can recognize when people try to sell you, right? You know what they're trying to do. You know what they're trying to say. Your senses go off if you're an elite salesperson, right? So, hey, one time, I got to show y'all the background. This is awesome. Just so you can see. That's the ocean back there. But I digress. He says, hey, it's nighttime, so I got to charge you more. Cool. If he would have stopped right there, everything would have been good. Then he continues to tell me that there's logs and debris in the water, and it's so dangerous. And I'm looking at him. I'm looking at my wife. So now I'm looking at him like, read the room. Read the room. The more you talk about danger, the more this lady right here is looking at you like, no, we ain't gonna do no danger in the middle of the ocean. So in sales, man, the one thing you really have to do is read your customer. Know when to apply, know when to back off, know when to educate, know when to ask questions. And then guess what? 90% of the time, people will tell you how to sell. If you know I'm coming to you at nighttime and it's going to be a little tough, and you say, hey, man, I'm going to have to charge you a little more because it's night outside, that's a perfect place to end it. But then when you add too much hot sauce to it, over talk, oversell, that makes the customer go, because in sales, man, you only have seconds. Decisions are made within seconds. 1 second you have the deal, next second you don't. So I'm telling you, when you're selling, learn how to read your consumer. Learn how to read the room. While you're talking, your consumer's going through emotions. You got to be able to see that. And if you can't see that, all that takes is a little training, man. And that kind of training is very easy. It's not something that's very difficult. In my opinion, the David L. Moore podcast, that everybody's a salesperson. You just got to awaken that inner ability to be able to recognize your situation, recognize where you are, understand who you're selling. And guess what? A true salesperson really doesn't have to sell because he asked the right questions, got the right answers, which allows him to present the right presentation. So don't ever oversell. In my opinion, overselling is what costs, especially in my industry, costs people a whole lot of car deals. Understanding when the customer says yes and now. After they say yes to you, what kind of emotions does that customer go through? Matter of fact, in the notes down there, put what emotions you think a customer goes through after they give you the yes. That's a very good one. I haven't heard anybody say that. What emotions do you think your customers go through after you say yes? And please understand that any statement, any breath, any way you hold your hands after they say yes can trigger a no. So, nah, man, from Belize, I just want to share that story with you. And I met Mr. Roger, man. Mr. Roger on the boat came back yesterday. And he owns a company in Alabama. He was telling me he was from Iowa, wife's from Iowa. So we had that in common. He was there with his wife. And he says, hey, my daughter's looking, what do you do? I said, well, I work at a Chevy store in St. Louis, Missouri. Matter of fact, the best Chevy store in St. Louis, Missouri. He says, man, can you get cars? I said, absolutely. I can find anything that you want most of the time. Well, my daughter's looking for a car. Here's my wife, right? Are you working right now? Oh, I didn't mean, I said, don't worry, man. As one of my mentors, Mr. Londoff, will say, we are doctors of transportation and we're on call 24/7, even in the country. But no, I gotta leave. I gotta find a certain vehicle, a certain Toyota that he's searching for his daughter from Alabama. And yes, just in case you didn't know, if you're looking for an automobile and you don't live in Missouri, we have reach all over the place. Our hands are everywhere, and we can find mostly any car that you want. But always recognize the room when you're selling. Mr. Roger, I appreciate you, and I will get back to your daughter as soon as I get back. But just recognize the room when you sell it, man. You really have to, because once you get a yeah, now what do you do from there? All you sales pros, and I know there's some out there, because I see you and I hear you. Even if you don't think I see you and hear you, I still see you and hear you. But you sales pros, after you get a yes, what's the most important thing to do next? Leave you with that. Next podcast, we're going to revisit that. What do you do after you get the yes? All right, man. Much love. If I don't get out of here, my wife will kill me, because we do have things to do. And it is lovely and 80, just like it is at Johnny Landau Chevrolet. It's always 80 and sunny. All right, y'all. Y'all be good. It's good to see you. It's good that I can bring you all with me. We're going to be traveling this year. And thank you all for everybody who reached out about my father, man. You know, y'all know how important he was to me. I thank you all for that. And I am healing. When I get back, you best believe, time to get to business. One word, two fingers. Peace.
Look, self-made entrepreneur, no manure, I'm number one. Goose down, jacket, maverick, top gun. Do it B.I.G. like Biggie, big pun. Look, people can